So making your hi-hats bouncier can be a little bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing. But luckily in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly how to do that. All right, let's just dive right into it. I'm just gonna go ahead and play a melody right off the back, and I want it to be a little bit more up tempo. So I'm just gonna go up to 160 BPM. I just have this piano V2 pulled up, nothing crazy. Let's go. All right, let's just fix this up really quick. All right, now that we got that, now let's add like just a kick drum and a snare just so we can get some rhythm going, and then I'm gonna show you guys exactly how you can do the hi-hats in different ways. You can place your hi-hat rolls and all that stuff. Let's just delete this one, like was one snare that I didn't want in there, I think. All right, let's just add the kick drum now. Okay, I gotta definitely quantize that. AQ. All right, anyways, we got those two going on now. Let's get to the hi-hats. We got a nice rhythm going on. So in case like, okay, you're making the beat, you're like, what do I do now? How do I get these hi-hats going? Okay, so let's get straight to it. Now, I normally like to play my hi-hats just like this, like on the keyboard. That's one way of doing it, right? You can go ahead and just play it on the keys like this. And you can get better as you go by practicing that, just right. That's what a lot of people like doing. It's more fun that way. But if you're not really good with doing that, just go right here and go to the brush tool, and then you're gonna go to 16 notes. Look for a good spot too, like where the hi-hats sound good. Don't just go for anything. Like roll up and down until you find a really good key that you can play your hi-hats in. And since this is already going at 160 BPM, you're gonna want to go with 1/8 notes instead, because unless you want to have like like the whole time, which is not gonna sound like a good swing, it's not gonna give it bounce. So you want to go with a 1/8 note if the beat is already going fast. I'm just gonna go ahead and do like one little section here. So that's what it sounds like now. That's what it would sound like raw, without you adding any effects, without you adjusting anything, which doesn't sound that good. But this is one way of doing it, just adding the brush tool right now. If you're gonna keep this pattern here like this, which sounds good, you can go ahead and put this down right here. This little icon right here, it shows the velocity of the hi-hat. So what you want to do is you want to go down one, you want to leave one kind of like on yellow and orange, and you want to bring one all the way down to like where the blue is, where the velocity. Then you leave the other one the same right here, and then you bring the other one down, and you keep repeating that pattern like that. This is one way to make your hi-hat sound a little bit bouncier, because you're gonna see how it sounds right now. It's gonna go back and forth like but it doesn't sound as stagnant as the first. It doesn't sound like as loud, and it's just like a straight stagnant feel. Like it has way more velocity into it. It has more dynamic. So this is how it sounds now. You hear the difference? And if you want to go you know, you want to try it out and you want to copy and paste this, the hi-hat, just go Command R, and look at that, voila. All right, that's just one way of simply doing it to have more bounce, and never leave all your velocities like this, because that's just, it's not gonna sound good. I mean, unless you want to go for that feel. I like the bounce and the swing of it, and this tutorial is about how to make it bounce here. So that's one way. Another way of doing this is you want to leave gaps in between your hi-hats. So if you want to make them sound bouncy, okay, so now we can use 1/8 notes, right? Let's just do 1/8 notes right here, boom. Now we're gonna go into 16 notes here, but we're gonna leave a gap right here. So we're just gonna go right there like that, and then raise up the velocity, like going up and down, so it could sound kind of like a downfall, kind of fading away a little bit. And then you can go back to the 8th notes right here. What you can do too is just add all the 8th notes first, you know, and then do your rolls. So, and now it's gonna sound like this. you know, and then you can just keep going like that, and then just leave another gap and add like maybe a 32 roll. The creativity that has to be from you is where to place the hi-hats, right? So this is something I could definitely help out. You see, every time you're about to hit like a kick or a snare, every time you're not about to hit, but like every time a snare or a kick is about to land and you're about to hear the kick, my suggestion is to leave some rolls right where the kick is hitting. So for example, just right is right there. Right there, another roll can go like this. This is how it's gonna sound. You see that? It just rolls right there with the kick. And another way you can make that sound a little bit more bouncier is by adding some rolls right before the snare hits too, or the clap, right? So right before the snare hits, it's gonna be like right here. Just add some rolls. You see that? So it just adds a little bit more dynamic. You don't want to leave them flat like this. You want to do this, especially if you're on Logic. If you're on FL Studio, it's easier to change them as well. You just, you know, I believe you just hold it and then you just adjust it. It's way easier on FL, in my opinion. But now it's gonna sound like this. Hey, and you keep going, like keep putting those eighth notes in there to keep the rhythm going. And then add some more. Just leave some space in between everything. And the last thing I would say to do is, but there's this free plugin called Pancake, and I'm just gonna Command R all this, and I already have it, so it's on my effects. And what this does is it makes your hi-hats go left and right. It pans them left and right. So let me see where it is, right here. There we go, Pancake 2. So this makes them go left to right. Watch this. Now, if you got headphones on, you're gonna hear it a lot better. If you don't have headphones on your phone, you're probably not gonna hear it. But if you put your headphones on and hear this. And the cool thing about this is you can leave the mix, you can adjust it. So if you don't want it to like pan so much, you could just release the mix, lower it down to like 40%, 30%, and then it's not gonna pan as much. I like to leave it like at 50%. And then it pans kind of, you know, a good amount to left and to the right. So use this plugin. It's free. You can just Google it, Pancake 2, and it's gonna pop up if you just Google it, and it's free. Like, I think it's from Cable Guys. And then you don't have to, you know, after that, you don't have to do all this panning and stuff. It'll do it for you. But definitely always learn how to just mess around with the velocity right here, because that's gonna determine a lot with your hi-hats, believe it or not. If you have a roll, you can always just go like this, like I said earlier, and just hold, release, boom, done. You see that instead of just hi-hats just being flat. Well guys, this is gonna be the end of this video. If you guys found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you're struggling with other stuff in your beats or stuff like this, just watch this next video right here. If you're a beginner, this video is really going to help you out, just really understand the basics of Logic. So click on this next video right here to if you're really trying to just start making beats. I'm sure it's going to help you out. But till next time, stay blessed and stay positive. Peace.